South Africa's tightened up immigration laws have some serious implications for couples living and working in South Africa. I'm joined in studio by Emma Thelwell and by Jeremy Berman to speak a little bit more about how these immigration laws are potentially affecting their relationship. Thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure.
Now, Emma, you're not South African. Where are you from?
I'm from the UK, from London. Yeah.
And Jeremy?
South African, born and bred in Joburg, and live in Cape Town.
Right, so before these new immigration laws, you two living in the same place and being together wouldn't have actually been a drama, but new immigration laws mean something quite different for you.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I arrived, I was very excited to get to South Africa and move in with Jeremy and start life with him, having travelled around the world together and lived in England together. And I arrived, and just a few days after arriving, I put in my application. We sort of danced off down the street thinking, great, you can get on with life. And they said it would take 30 days, and 30 days came and gone, went. And nearly 9 months later, I still don't have a visa. I don't have a spousal visa. It hasn't come through yet. So, yeah, I've just been waiting and waiting with very little response or any idea of when it might come through. And the whole process has been incredibly stressful.
And unable to leave and go and see her family.
Yeah, well, that's the major point of the new laws. Of course, when I realised that, my holiday visa was about to run out after 3 months, my new visa hadn't come through yet. So I went to Home Affairs and I said, look, my visa's about to run out. What should I do? Should I leave the country or should I stay? And this was right before the new laws was coming in. This was in April. So they should have known, that I might be stuck. And they said, no, that's fine. You just stay in the country. So I went away thinking, okay, strange, but this is what I've been told. So I stayed. And as the new laws came in, I then was concerned. I saw people being banned and stopped, and I had plans to go back to London in July. But I had to put those plans on ice. I had to cancel holidays and time with my family and friends, as I was told by lawyers and Home Affairs that I would be banned if I left the country, banned for 5 years. Which I thought was extraordinary, considering I'd played by the rules, I had done everything I'd been told to do. I then got told perhaps I could go to the airport and talk to them about it. I went to the airport, they said, what are you doing here? Home Affairs should help you out. So I went back to Home Affairs in Cape Town. They said, oh, you need to call the call centre. I said, I've been calling them for 4 months, 5 months, what now? And all the call centre can say to me is, we've lodged your application, we can't tell you anymore. So it's been an absolute nightmare, because I don't know whether I'm getting it, whether I'm going to be refused. They can't even tell you at what stage in the process it is. So you have no idea whether you're going to get it in 2 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, or even whether there's a problem with it. They just don't tell you. So trying to organise your life around that is totally impossible.
Jeremy, what's the technicality here? Because it's fairly obvious that you and Emma are in a relationship. It's not like you're running some type of crazy smuggling ring. You live together, you were in a relationship before you came into the country. So really, what's the problem on Home Affairs side?
I wish I knew what the problem was on Home Affairs side. I think the reality is that South Africa, we have great aspirations, but when it comes to implementation, we fall down. And we wouldn't be an issue right now if Emma was notified that the laws were changing and that she had to leave the country and process her application again from the UK. That would have been really easy. But the reality was we got no communication. There's no metrics or ways in which people who've lodged applications can track them online. There's no way that we think the people who actually operate the call center are given any way to understand at what stage the application is in. Because, without information, you just breed uncertainty, and that is, 9 months of uncertainty for both of us has been very difficult.
Now, everybody's speaking about that dreaded undesirable status where you leave the country and you're banned from 5 years. Emma, that's obviously something that you want to avoid at all costs.
Yeah, which is why I'm still here. I mean, I was really concerned about that, and everyone I spoke to said, just don't leave the country, and so I haven't. But then you get told if you do leave the country, you will be banned because you're abusing the system. As far as I'm concerned, the system has abused me. I've done everything by the book, and They're keeping me prisoner here for no reason. I've done exactly what I've been told to do. I've talked to everyone possible. I didn't even involve lawyers at the beginning, because I looked at the form and I thought, I don't need a lawyer to help me fill out a form. I don't need a lawyer to help me prove my relationship with my boyfriend. I can get all these papers together, send them in. It's all simple, but it's not simple. And they haven't given me any indication of what the problem is. So to be banned for following the rules, I think, is horrific, and just I can't even describe. It just shows total and utter chaos at the heart of the system, really, because how can you operate something that, I don't know, sorry, I've lost my words there, I just can't.
It's quite all right.
It's quite difficult.
So you have then followed a legal avenue to try and resolve this. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, so now, after 8 months waiting and delaying a flight back to the UK, I thought, right, I'm really going to have to do something about this. So I contacted a lawyer. It cost me 4,000 rand up front before she's even done anything. And this is, just to help find out what the hell's happened to my application, really. There's no guarantee that she can do anything. But, at that stage, that was back in August, back in July, I put my flight back again, costing me £100 every time I change it, 2,000 rand every time I change my flight. I'm supposed to fly back to the UK next week, but it looks like I'm going to have to delay that flight again because I still haven't heard anything. The lawyer's been working on it for a month and I've heard nothing yet either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm throwing money at something that isn't even getting resolved with legal help so far.
So how are you in the country at the moment? On what type of visa?
I'm not on a visa. My holiday visa has run out. I'm here waiting, on the premise that I have lodged an application and I'm waiting for that visa to come through. And apparently that's fine. I mean, I hope the immigration officials don't come knocking at my door because they're the ones that have told me to stay in the country.
Now, Jeremy, this just seems completely counterintuitive. Emma is being kept in the country on no type of visa, but she can't leave. It seems like the system is just working against itself.
Sure, totally. I think the real issue for me, beyond our relationship, our relationship is the most important thing, but I'm also someone who's a proud South African, and I want us to be putting our best foot forward and really showing the world that we're a country that is organized and that welcomes people who are dynamic and who have a lot to offer, and that we're going to create a safe space for them to come and add value. And I think we've just let ourselves down so badly by essentially turning away and ultimately violating respectable people who want to come and do good things here.